TU 105, Communication Skills in English. Unit 8, A Smart City. Listening sections 8.3.2, 8.3.3, and 8.3.4. Experiments with automated driving actually began in the 1920s, but little progress was made until the U.S. military began funding research in the mid-1980s. Still, most people didn't expect to see self-driving cars on the road even a decade ago, when Google's sibling Waymo was founded to develop the technology. Tesla began research and development for autonomous vehicles a few years later, followed by other car manufacturers and ride-hailing firms like Uber. Today, autonomous passenger vehicles are being tested in cities around the world. Some will operate commercially by 2020. Most people rely on cars to get around, even in city centers. Yet most cars remain parked over 95% of the time. Meanwhile, they are expensive to buy, maintain, and insure. Traffic is often jammed, and parking spaces can be hard to find. With self-driving cars and the sharing economy, private car ownership will no longer be necessary. Fleet operators will own the vehicles and keep them driving around serving passengers almost continuously. Fewer cars will be needed to provide better service to the same number of people. Estimates range from 10% to 30% as many cars on roads as today. The fleets will be cheaper to operate than existing taxis because they won't need drivers. Passengers will spend less time waiting for vehicles, they will spend less time getting to where they want to be, and they will spend less money to get there. Autonomous vehicles are also safer than private cars. Today, 94% of accidents are caused by human error, mostly because of alcohol, speeding, or distractions like phones. Autonomous vehicles hardly ever have accidents, and if they do, they are almost never at fault. Self-driving cars are so much safer than human-driven cars that most ordinary cars will probably be banned from urban centers and other populated areas. Autonomous vehicle traffic flows more smoothly too. Self-driving cars don't stop or turn suddenly or otherwise behave erratically. They can travel safely closer together. They anticipate traffic or hazards ahead to select the best routes to avoid congestion and save time. With autonomous vehicles available on demand, much less space will be needed for parking. Downtown traffic will not be congested with people looking for parking space. Pedestrians will not need to dodge and squeeze between cars. This frees up a lot of urban space to make the city more attractive. More people will be able to live there, and it will be easier for workers to commute from further away. Maglev trains will connect suburbs to urban centers and cities to cities in record time. The Shanghai Maglev train, for example, opened in 2004, zipping passengers between Shanghai and its Pudong International Airport. In the mid-2020s, the Chuo Shinkansen will transport travelers the 350 kilometers between Tokyo and Nagoya in just 40 minutes. The UK, Germany, the US, China, and Malaysia are planning their own maglev lines over the next 20 years. When Elon Musk published his Hyperloop concept in 2012, it was mostly regarded as fantastic. Passengers will travel between cities in capsules which float through vacuum tubes at over 970 kilometers per hour, as fast as a jet plane. Now, several companies are working to commercialize the technology, and several countries are interested in buying it. Increasingly, biometric data is replacing conventional forms of identification. Before long, people will not need to carry cash, credit cards, or ID cards. Various biometric sensors will identify people remotely and charge them automatically for the transportation services they use. Tomorrow's urban transportation will be more convenient, safer, cleaner, and quieter. There will be less traffic. Areas previously used for parked cars will be available for pedestrians, trees, and parks. Smart cities will be more eco-friendly, less crowded, and more comfortable.